Hi everyone, we're correcting our Sbac Sb page 35 through 36. Number 1, Dan and Miguel are working on the same homework assignment. Dan has finished 1/4 of the assignment. Miguel has finished 3/4 of the assignment. Which statement is correct? A strategy to remember is to always draw it. I like to use rectangles because it allows me to try to draw it exactly the same on the bottom. You can't have one super long one and one short one and compare fractions. You have to compare fractions with the same whole. So I did one for Dan and for Miguel. And when I go through these problems, Miguel has completed the entire assignment. No, he hasn't. Dan has not completed the entire assignment. That's true. He's only completed 1/4 of it. Miguel has finished more of the assignment than Dan. That's true. And Dan and Miguel have completed equal parts. That's not true. Number 2, Jenna painted 1/8 of one side of a fence. Mark painted 1/6 of the other side of the same fence. Use greater than, equal, or less than to compare the parts that they painted. Again, my strategy sometimes is to draw it. I drew rectangles and I try to make it exactly the same. A strategy to do eighths is I did it in halves and then I did it in fourths and then I was able to break those into eighths. Same thing with 1/6. I did it into thirds first and then cut that in half. I can see that 1/6 is greater than 1/8. Number 3, Chun lives 3/8 mile from school. Gail lives 5/8 mile from school. Use the fraction symbol to show which distance is longer. When it has the same denominator, then all you have to do is figure out which of the numerator has more. And so that's another strategy when you're looking at fractions. And so 3/8 is less than 5/8. Number 4, Pat has 3 pieces of fabric that measures 3, 6, 5, 6, and 2, 6 yards long. Write the lengths in order from least to greatest. Remember to do least first, the smallest. And so if I was looking at this, I noticed that the denominator is all the same. So all I have to do is put the numbers, the numerators in order from least, from 2 to 3 to 5. Number 5, Bill used 1/3 cup of raisins and 2/3 cup of banana chips to make a snack. So we're going to answer yes or no for each. Again, I noticed that the denominators are the same, and so the numerator will determine how large the fraction is. 2 is greater than 1. And so as I go through the list, this 2/3 is greater, so that doesn't work. These are not equal. 2/3 is greater, yes, and 2/3 is greater, yes. Number 6, Cora measures the heights of 3 plants. Draw a line to match each height to the word that describes its place in the order of heights. I can see that the denominator is not the same, but I do see that the numerator is the same. So here's another strategy. When the numerators are the same, the bottom number, the denominator, you want to go with which one is less, and that would mean greater. It's the opposite of what kids think. Why is that? I like to say that, would you rather share with 8 people, 4 people, or 6 people? I'd rather share with 4 because you're going to get a greater piece. If you have to share with 8 people, you're going to have to cut it into more pieces to give it to each other for an equal amount. So another strategy. Again, another strategy would just be to draw it out in a rectangle and color it in to see which one is greater. Number 7, Mavis mixed 2/4 cup of apple juice with 1/2 quart of cranberry juice. Comparing these fractions, they're not the same denominators and they're not the same numerators, but I do know that 2/4 is the same as 1/2. If you didn't, draw that picture. Number 8, Todd and Lisa are comparing fraction strips. Which statements are correct? I noticed that the denominators are all the same, so it means which number is greater as the numerator. And so I can see this one's